All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to a new webinar, a new Kettler webinar. I'll be start to share my screen so everybody can see it. And welcome to a new webinar here at Kettler. The goal of this webinar is to kind of give you the latest update on all of our newest features. And today's meeting will have a bunch of new elements that we're going to be looking into, mostly into the new animal health section that's being built up as we go. We have a lot of new functionalities and a lot of new features that have been requested by many, and that will provide a lot of new freedom into the daily activities that you guys will be having. A lot of the new bunk score as well. And last but not least, integration on the integration on the what would be the cattle sale and the new cattle sale page together with the downloadability of the EID tags of each individual animal with each sale. So on the agenda, it's what's new, what's coming out, and any further questions as well. So if I'll get it started right away. So what is new? We have a huge new interface and enhanced features for the animal health, new bunk score UX and enhancements as well. On the new bunk score, it has to do with the fact that now your cattle will move accordingly with the feed associated to that cattle will move accordingly as they move into a new pen. And we have a new sales page with quality grading and program information. So on the new animal health section, or the new beginnings of the new animal health section, there's a lot of elements that I'm going to be showing you, and that I'll kind of show you as we go, more than kind of screen show it on screens like we usually do. But the goal is to be able to be as fluent showing it so that you guys can really get a feel for it. So I'll show the Cattler screen, and going into the new animal health section, you'll see right away the tabs are all different. The overview and reports, I'll show you what's coming down on that end. The goal in the overview and reports is to be able to have a one-stop shop similar to what you see on the dashboard, a one-stop idea of everything that's happening there so you can see that. But then we have the treatment scheduling and sick cattle, and then the protocols and clinics, and then the health log that is also being built out and will all be launched at the same time. But the new element that I want to show you is kind of the protocol side. So the protocol and treatments is what I'll show, but a lot of this has to do with individual animal tracking, individual animal movements, and a lot of the new individual animal features that you can do. So right now, if I go into the new protocol page, you'll see that you have the different protocols. A lot of these are test protocols. But if I click on this one, you have the new protocol page. But what's important about this is not only the new UX, it's a lot cleaner, but the fact that you can also, you can have a description. Okay, this is for cattle from 450 to 550, or apply once on the neck. What's the expected result? Okay, the expected result in 5-10 days improvement, mostly in mucus from the nose. What should people be seeing once they apply this? So now, if I hit in the new protocol, we'll create a new one. We'll just create, USA, North America webinar. And as I said before, XYZ, again, not to go into it too deeply, but you can, in any indication, what expected result, the same thing. And the support is going to be associated to a diagnostics as well. So this is kind of really important because now whatever you apply to an animal follows the diagnosis given to it as well. So out of products, we're just going to put Resflor, Pyramid 3, and let's give some Draxin. And again, you have your head, and you can do it by kg. Actually, I have it in kg. I should change it back to pounds. Feeder infrastructure. Nope. General settings, kg tons, let's put LB tons, perfect US ton. Okay, let's go back into here. We'll go back into the protocol page, new protocol, and as I said before, we'll give Bovida shield, cleanup and some Draxin. And then there we go. We have, how many cc's per head or per hundredweight. So it's two per head. This is one per head, or this is, um, per hundredweight, we'll give it, 1.1, 1.2 per hundredweight. Then once you have that, you'll be able to then just ultimately there we go, accept, and then be able to hit add a product, bedding, that's another one, two, which is an example. There you go. And then with that, you'll be able to create the new protocol as we have it already. For some reason, let me see something. Add a product. Two, two. Okay, for some reason, it's not giving me the confirm button. Maybe because I changed it midway through. But oh, it does have a name. There we go. Once I have the name, I was able to put in test. So now the protocol has been created in order to get that done. But what's important on here is again is you can always, on left and right hand side, you can always delete the product or make any edit to the protocol, whatever you need, you can always do it from there. But what's important on this end is also the fact that um, as we have, all these different treatments or scheduling, which I'll show you kind of in depth in a little bit longer, you have the treatments, we're going to be able to apply these treatments. So I'm going to, you can now select it either by lot, by pen, or by EID. Let's do this West 25. And I'm going to select the protocol that we just created, the test, no description. But if I did have a description, let me find you one that does have a description on it, one that I did earlier today. Test, Ryan test. There you go. You would have the description and then the diagnostics. And then last but not least, you're going to have how many units you're going to need, how many cc's you're going to need, and then what's the dollar amount associated to it as well. So this is one of the kind of the new features, being able to see before you actually get started, and then you can apply it. I've already applied it. So I just applied, to that group, that treatment as well. Or if I need to, I can also undo the treatment, which is one of the big things has been requested to us is being able to undo treatment, revert treatments, edit treatments, all those different elements that you would want to do as well. So the goal is to give you a lot more flexibility on that end as well. And although I can go to the sick cattle, which I will do in the moment, I think the best way of going into the sick cattle is actually going into the individual animal profile because I'll be doing that from here as well. I'll be going into the individual animal profile, and as you see, it's much different. Let me go into the cattle management. Let me just go into this pen, to this lot. Again, from the pen, the same thing. But let's scroll a little bit down to one that hasn't been tampered with. And there we go. So as you see, it has already kind of a different feel to it. It looks a little bit different. It has a lot of things that we can do from it as well, and that's really, really important. Right off the bat, what's important to understand is that you will be able to associate an animal to a diagnosis, and that diagnosis is what will determine its health cycle and what's going on. What I mean by if I apply treatment, let's say give a diagnosis. Let's see, he has, for instance, he has pneumonia. Except you can add a temperature, temp check, 100, and then protocol. Let's say I'm going to give him I don't know. Let's give him the Calypso protocol. Accept. And then there we go. You'll have whatever you need. You can add another one if I can add another product if I need. Make it really quick, clean. And then what's going to happen? I'm going to give it 2 cc's. Apply. So what's going to happen now is something that's very different than what we had before. That animal will be now sick and it'll have a diagnosis, pneumonia. But what's important here is that now, before, if you were going to have a sick animal, that animal had to be in the hospital. But now that animal can stay directly in the pen, which is a very important feature. But you can also have a sick animal, move him to the hospital pen. Now you can have that same sick animal there. What's most important is that now you'll be able to also undo the application, delete the order, or make an edit. I did not give them cleanup. Okay, I'll apply. Change is made. Or I need to undo it. Let's do undo the application. It's undone. There we go. This Calypso protocol first stage was the one that we did before. Remember when we were doing it before on the treatment side. But you are able now to undo any treatment that you might want. So I undid it, and now I'm going to delete this protocol. So you have 2 steps now. You can undo it and then delete it, or just undo it, leave it pending, and then apply it. So again, a lot of functionalities that are very new. But what's actually very cool is that if I assign this, anemia protocol, and I add a product, just for instance, Bovilus, 5 cc's, apply. So now I have this. What's important to know is that I'm able to do all of these different changes that we just talked about in order to kind of grant a lot of people a lot of flexibility. But also, you can also provide a health check. Health check is just a way of, and again, it's going to go back to that the diagnosis that we did before. It's always going to follow the anemia. Okay, what's happened now? Okay, following that diagnosis of anemia, apply it, fever, confirm. So the health check is just about figuring out what's happening with this with the animal. It's just I either ran him through the chute. I got a question. What did I get? Chat. Oh, will shoot weights be tracked here as well? Shoot weights will not be tracked. I mean, they can be tracked, but you're probably going to want to go through it directly through the shoot cattle in basically. But this is not so much about passing them through the chute, Mr. Augustine. It's more about just you're walking through the pen and you're saying, hey, this one doesn't look so good. Let me just, either uh, temp it or run it through the chute or any activity that you might want to do just to kind of leave a comment or leave an idea on that animal as well. You can add a comment as well. And then with that, all of this gets assigned. So what's important now is that if I am to move this animal to the hospital, again, it will show the diagnosis as well. And more importantly, now we've added a head count to each of the different hospital beds. So if you have more than one, or if you even have one, you're going to know, okay, hey, I mean, I'm going to send it to this one because I have enough space. Maybe the other ones are full, for instance. I can accept it and confirm. Now, not only is this animal sick, but I've now moved it to the hospital pen. So now we have been able to break this apart. You can have a sick animal in the hospital pen. You can have a sick animal in the same pen. You can um, you can revert a movement. You can revert a treatment, all from the individual animal treatment as well. Or more importantly, something that was very requested was mark as dead and also add a comment. Did not react well to shock. And this is really important. I can confirm now, animal is dead. Or again, cause of death, anemia. Because again, it follows the diagnosis we gave it. So animal returned to home pen because it's dead. It returns. It's done. Or, I can now edit or undo. I can change any of these elements right here. I can go into here, edit, confirm. I can go back into here or undo the death. See? Confirm, undo death, sick, it goes back to the hospital pen. Again, see, you can it's still in the hospital pen. Edit, edit, sick. Do I want to return to the home pen? I can either mark it as sick and return it back or recovered. I'm gonna put it right here, recovered. There we go. So now it's back in the hospital pen, back in the home pen, and it's healthy again. So again, there's a lot of different elements that can go on now that we have all of these different elements and how we've been able to break apart a lot of this animal health. So now, if I wanted to go back to the animal health section of it, I'm going to go to the sick cattle. And again, I'm going to have here how many head, how many diseases, across the board I have active right now. So I'm going to go to this one. It's going to tell me, okay, I have 4 sick cattle. One of them is in the sick pen. 3 are in the home pen. I have one death from one disease. Let's go into this one. This one is sick. It has an abscess. I'm going to mark as recovered. Is animal recovered? We'll change to active, and it will be returned to the pen if necessary. Confirm. And there we go. It's recovered and has been moved back to its original pen. And see again, we went from 11 head, 12, 11 head to now 12 head. And instead of being at the home pen, it was already at the home pen. So let's try this one. This one now is going to be marked as recovered, confirm. Again, sent back to the home pen. And all these values will change. Or uh, I can also, even if he's sick, I can send back to the it's on the hospital. I'm gonna send to the hospital pen, all from the same place. Or from here, I can return to the home pen, but I can return it recovered or I can return it sick. I'm just gonna return it sick. I'm just gonna keep it there, and then I am now going to mark as recovered. Perfect. So as you see, there's a lot of functionalities in here that you can do now that before you were not able to do. And this is kind of really big. See all the recoveries and all the diseases. And something that I'm going to do as we kind of conclude this first part on the animal health section is kind of show you what's also coming down the pipeline because I do think it's worthwhile mentioning it as we go. But see, you are going to be able to schedule different treatments, being able to know what's been treated, what's been done. Is this a new? Yeah, sorry, Jason. Yeah, this is a new update. Um, it's not yet on everybody's screen. We are right now finishing all of the different updates as we go, but this will be launched, I believe, if it's not to Saturday, it's gonna be launched on Monday. But everything here is already working, so we're all about being able to provide it as soon as possible. The goal is to give it like a small, show it a little bit about people, just everything that can be done. So before then, and then after that, we'll be able to release it. But it's been already tested internally, tested with a small group. The goal is to now release it to everybody else. But and on the left-hand side, you're going to have this full overview, which we had talked about before, which this overview just has to do with being able to see everything that's happening at the yard, being able to see how many pullouts, how many dead, what the top, which lots have been are the sickest, and any health events that you've had all in one page. Very, very similar to what you would have on your initial dashboard as well. So this is very, very big for us because it lays the foundation for everything that we're working on the animal health side, on the scheduling, overview reports, protocols and clinics, which you don't have. But ultimately, this is all about, and a lot of it has to do with this new animal health individual profile that you can now treat, edit, delete, mark as dead, add a comment, remove the death, move to the hospital pen sick, treat it in the hospital pen, bring it back, undo the, treat it, and then start to gather a lot of that information, a lot of that data that we know is very, very valuable to a lot of our members. So we're very excited about this, and we're very excited about the possibility of sharing all this information, being able to have a protocol, being able to know if uh, there is Ms. Rosin, there are some small changes on the shoot side that are being ramped up as well. I don't have them on here. We'll keep, I know that they finished them up, I think yesterday or the day before. I haven't seen the newest changes on it yet, but I will for sure be probably putting it out on our newsletter or creating a small webinar before the end of the year ends, basically. But we are incredibly, proud of what we've been able to do because there's a lot of movement on this end as well. So it's a lot that we've done on here that we're kind of really, really happy about. Um, So this is about, we talked about the deads, the comments, the health check, the hospital pen, the leader edit treatments, sick cattle interface, new protocol and treatments. We've talked about all of that, and this is very, very big and super important for us. The other element now is on the new bunk score, which is also it's just a matter of time before we roll it out, but it's all here as well. So the new bunk score has a lot of changes on it, but the main element on the bunk score is that now when you separate or when you move cattle, it will now the feed associated with that cattle will move with it. Let me show you an example. Let's go into pen 4, for instance. I'm gonna do cattle movement. transfer line. I'm going to show you the new interface for the new cattle movements as well. So let's select, we talked about the pen 4. Where is it? Here we go. So right here, head count, we're going to do 5. Lot, I'm going to put the C14, move it, confirm. So C14 is a completely new pen. C14. So see, all the same animal feeding is now associated with that animal, with this group, same as here. See, it's all the same. The only difference is I can score this. I can score and I can call this bunk because I've already fed it. In the case of this one, I can also do it as well because yeah, I can also do it as well just because of the fact that I've also fed the other one. Oh, please check the fields. Da, 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 da. What am I missing? Sorry, what am I missing? It has the same feed. Change it to 1 pound. Please check the fields. I'll check why. It's because I still haven't fed it. That's why I can't perform the bunk score. But as you guys can see, we've changed a lot of the graphs on here basically. We've changed a lot of the graphs on here, and there's another new enhancement that's coming here as well, also to the possibility of adding a note, which you could already do, but we've improved this as well, making it a lot easier to see in the time. And but most importantly, the possibility of seeing the new view that it has, the new screen, but most importantly, the possibility of cattle being able to move and that feed associated to it being able to move there as well. This is the original one. There you go. I can change it on here because I've already fed this one. That's why C14 has not been fed. And that's why I can't score it or call it. And this is, very, very big and very, very important to us. While I'm here, let me also show you, uh, this is the new cattle move sale. So right now you can move by lot only. The goal is to then be able to move by pen. So current pen, which lots it has inside, head count, which pen is it going to, and then you can do the same things. You're going to be able to keep them split, merge moving lots into receiving lots, merge smaller lot into the larger lot. Again, a lot of flexibility is what we're giving, and the goal is to be able to allow a lot of our members to do a lot of things that have been requested. There's been a lot of weight on the new animal health, which is now that what we have and what we're kind of working towards, and has really helped us to develop and give us a lot of the base that we were needing in order to get this completed. And we're incredibly, incredibly happy about that as well. Last but not least has to do with the new sale and the quality grading and program information. This is the first part of what I'm going to show you now. Is kind of the first part, but we have a lot of it already set up. So on the sales and purchases page now, I believe this new page has already been rolled out. So if you were to check it out, you'll see that now it has a new overview. And this new overview, you're going to be able to have, your live weight, your shrink, your carcass weight, and then a lot better economics, which is kind of what we were needing on the sales side, which goes into our new closeout, which I'll show you in a second. But a lot of this information we needed, so we first needed to do the cattle sale to then be able to do the new closeout, which I'll show you. But then also, once you've completed the sale and you've saved it, you'll be able to now download in a CSV each individual animal that has got left the yard. So you have an EID, a tag. In this case, we don't have any, but you have the entry weight, you have the exit date, you'll have the exit weight, and then you have where it left to. The goal is that now you'll be able to associate each individual animal's ID, but most importantly, you will also be able to add information related to the um, the kill sheet that you will be getting. So this is really important. You'll be able to finally pair together manually for now. Our goal is to work from this with all the different packers and to align what came in, what came out on an EID level all across. But the upload CSV is that you'll be able to associate all of these different fields with the kill sheet that you get from the packer. So you'll be able to select the program, Hereford, and then you'll be able to understand, okay, you can either do right now, you'll be able to do it manually. But okay, how many of these, out of these, 40, they all qualified. There's no non-qualified, zero. And then you can start to, 23, 7, 7, 7, 3, uh, 5 gives me 8. And then I have two that are condemned. There we go. We should mess my maths wrong because make it easier myself. 10, 9, and then one that got condemned. And then you'd be able to then save it all up and save it again, and then you'll have all that information. Oh, wait, my bad on that end. How many do I have in here? 40 head count. I'll figure it out. 40. All of them qualified. Oh, shoot. That's unfortunate. Sorry about that. Um, but ultimately, the most important thing here is that you will be able to, right now, put it all manually or add a CSV file and then be able to have both of the about both sides of the picture. You're going to have on the one hand side everything related to your feeding on Catler and then your kill sheet as well. And that's really, really important. And the reason why we needed this is because if I am to go to the new closeout report, you'll see that on here you have all of the shipment yield and sale information. That is all the information that you put in there as well. So your head count, your customer, your sale type, and then, what program did it go through? Did you have any prime, select, what different, information bases went through? I was missing the Y's, that's why. And then there you go. All of that information is key that we were missing in order to then create the correct closeout report as well. So this is the new closeout report that's coming out, I believe, in a week or two. And the goal is to be much more concise. Well, not concise, but be a lot more clean with the information that we were able to provide. And most importantly, bring a lot of information that we had, but we just were looking at the best way to provide. So this is, a really big, element for us, this new closeout report, because it also has the movements, it has the performance, it has the economics, has the cattle profit and loss with all the information that we'd seen before. So, freight costs, commission costs, sales tax, all the information that we saw on the enhanced sales is now on here as well. Or what's also new that I might as well switch it over to the what's coming down the pipeline is this new and enhanced invoice. So this new invoice will also have some, what we've added on here is what pens they're in. So 16, 18, 23. So if you have, somebody that comes and looks at, comes just wants to drive around and look at its cattle, they can know, oh, this invoice that came in, which pens are they in? They can go drive and check them out alongside with a lot of the information on here, the feed cost, feed conversion rate, feed cost of gain, all the information that a lot of our members have requested, mostly along the lines of the invoicing and custom feeding as well. We talked about the move of cattle lins, and that we've talked about the new closeout report, the new invoice, the new cattle transferred by pen, by lot, and ID, and then we've also talked a lot on the animal health as well that's coming down the pipeline. So we went over what's new, all the animal health, which we're incredibly proud of doing, and that sets the base for a lot of information that we'll be able to collect and send your way for you guys to analyze. The new bunk score with the new UX graphs and the fact that the feed now moves with the animal into the new pen, and then the new sales with quality grading and program information. So being able to also download the EIDs or upload the grading information from that as well. Are there any questions that you, or from what you've seen, that I can answer? Anything that you see that I can answer right now? Please let me know. The animal health will be released on either Saturday or Monday. The new cattle sales have already been released, but last but not least, everything else related to the um, um, closeouts, invoice, pen movements is all in the roadmap from now until the end of 2025. And 2026 will be a great year in which we will be also launching a lot of the pasture and rangeland management and also the cow calf. So please be aware of that.
I see you were really dialing down on the new animal health stuff on the individual animal level.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
is there a possibility that you'll either be able to create a report similar to like what you were showing on the CSV download on sales that gives that EID level information on the animal health side, or is there even a possibility that when you do that closeout, it will also pull that animal health data in by EID?
Yes, yes. So as correct, Mr. Augustine. What we're showing is kind of the starting point of the information, just giving you the weights. The goal is to be able to continuously add information to each individual animal as as time goes by, and we talk with you and we talk to different people that say, hey, I'm incredibly detail oriented, which you are, and you say, hey, I think it would be great if we had A, B, C, and D. You've talked with Ezekiel, and that's the reason why we're working towards this. And we will probably be, talking more with you about, hey, what would more and more people want to see on your end uh, when it comes to individual animal tracking as well? Because we've talked about, we talked about this with you, even, what rations they've been fed, what treatments they've been given, sale barn they come from, and then different metrics that would be incredibly important for people to have as well. So for right now, you have the EIDs and the individual animal download. But then right now what we have is also the kill sheet and the grading. For now, it's two separate documents, and as we move forward, we'll be able to kind of put them together. That's the name of the game. If I were to bring cattle in under the same group, will I still need to forward to the new EID? If I want to bring cattle in under the same group, so one same group, so 1550, will I still need to forward to the new EID? What do you mean by forward to the new EID, Jason? What does that mean? Like forward to the new EID? You'll still be able to, if you wanted
So,
to, go ahead. I mean, you'll still be able to upload your EIDs through a CSV as we've always done. So being able to, sorry, Jason, go into the lot. And then if you have multiple groups, or say you have two subgroups in here, you would still be able to upload a CSV from here if you wanted to. Does that answer your question, Jason?
no, that's not what I mean. When I go to the health side, straight to cattle in.
Hey, Jason, let me see. If I go to cattle in, can you say that again?
So now if I wanted to process a group that's already on feed and I want to add cattle to that group,
Hmm.
the EIDs from the previous group will show up on the health side. I have to scroll to the next cow till I'm at a new ID.
Correct.
Have you changed anything on that?
We have. I mean, we have. It's not yet in place. From what we
Oh,
talked about, it's not yet in place. But yes, I remember we talked about this. But the goal is that when the new cattle comes in, you'll be able to start with that new group that comes in, and you won't have to scroll all the way down. Yes, that is correct, Jason. I'll follow up with it just to see where it's at, so I can send it your way, so you can test it out for us.
I don't know if it's helpful or not, but we had that same issue, and I just created a fake receiving pin and worked the cattle in that receiving pin, and then transferred them to the pen that already had the cattle in them.
Mm, that would also work.
I had another
Yes,
follow-up question too. In that invoice where it showed like the what pins that group was in, is there a way? I mean, obviously it'd be great if it's on an EID level, but just from an overall standpoint, is there a way that you could say days in pin on either the closeout or an invoice so you knew like it spent 150 days in pin A and 50 days in pin B? Is there any way to have that kind of information available?
we could add it for sure. Let me see. It doesn't have the days in pen. Um, this one does. This one has, I mean, it says this one gives you what pens it is as well, but it gives you also average days on feed. Let me find where it's at. It could not be on here. It's closed. So on the invoice, would you want it, or would you want it on the invoice, or would you want it on the closeout?
Me personally, I'd like it on the closeout because we aren't sending the invoices out. They're
Right.
our own cattle, but I mean, I could see where somebody might want it on an invoice. But our thing is we've got two different types of lots. We have our outside lots and we have our confinement lots, and it's two kind of totally different structures.
Right.
And it'd be kind of nice to know comparing the groups or even just trying to compare costs. How many days are they spending in each of those pens?
Got it. Days in pen per lot, invoice and closeout. Okay. Okay. I mean, would you, I think it would be better on the closeout report rather than the invoice. I don't see them moving a lot around in an invoice, period. I think that would be kind of, I don't see you moving them a lot in the 30-day period or even a 15-day period. I mean, the invoice does have the days, the pens it's in, basically. Um, that's what I'm thinking, just out loud. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I would think it would be best on closeout because then you could compare closeouts and say, well, this pen spent or this group spent 30 more days in confinement than the other pens, and their rate of gain was 2/10 less or something like that. But just from the invoicing standpoint, if you had a custom fee for different pens, then you would know how many days they were in certain pens. But I'm not currently doing that, so I guess I don't need it.
right. Well, excellent. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think it would be better on the closeout, which would be, days on each pen. Pens and how many oh this one does have which pens that they were in. This says 4 and 6. It doesn't say how many days in each pen. See that up here? It says pens 4 and 6. It doesn't say how many days in each pen. Would this be enough days the pens they were in, or would you want days in each pen?
I would want days in each pen,
Okay.
but that's just one man.
Well, you know how this works. If you ask for it, you usually get it. It takes time, but we usually can get it in. Um,
Well, I'm going to start asking for money then.
oh, all right. That's a different conversation. We can do that as well. Um, are there any other questions that I can answer to anybody here? All right. Well, I appreciate it. We'll be putting this up on YouTube for everybody to see as well. But I appreciate everybody that showed up. And as you guys see, there's a lot of new moving parts and new moving elements that we're very, very proud of, and that we're very, very glad to get rolling on our end. So thank you all for joining, and have a great night. Bye bye.